Rift Bolt. Here's Dreadhorde Arcanist. Barich is going to kill that one. That one can get out of hand.
Good chance Barich is unaware exactly what Lim is playing, excuse me. And that oftentimes entails targeting the Dreadhorde Arcanist because some really disastrous things can happen.
That card's got a lot of text. I'm going to kill it.
Crashing footfalls, etc.
There was an Eidolon, and here's Liliana. It's going to cost Lim 2 life to 17 after a fetch, but it does take care of the Eidolon.
Yeah, and the Eidolon, getting that off the battlefield is hugely important because it represents 2 damage whenever you play basically any card in your deck. Now Lim here can use all his mana, or he can cast the Hazoret, or he can just play the Blood Moon and then play a Hazoret in a turn or 2.
So there was a plus, both players discarded. It was a land for Barich and a Chandra, 3-mana Chandra, the Acolyte of Flame for Lim. There's Blood Moon. Barich fired off Lightning Helix in response. See a Goblin Guide attacking, getting lightning bolted.
Notably, the Lightning Helix went upstairs and the Goblin Guide actually attacked attacked the Lily.
Hazoret the Fervent.
Oof. This is a pretty good race though. Lim at 8 life. Barich at a pretty high life total thanks to Lightning Helix, but facing down a Hazoret the Fervent.
Call that 7 for Lim as a Swift Spear attacked and then got Liliana'd. Hazoret's going to work. Barich is at 10. Kolaghan's Command might have been draw step there. Shock discard.
Yeah, I think it was deal 2 discard. Barich didn't get to actually cycle the Fire Islet there, and 2 damage was dealt to face.
Hazoret bumps Barich to 3. Seasoned Pyromancer from empty draws 2 cards, and Lim's going to go up a game pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, with Lim winning games that quickly against Burn, this might be one of the faster winning ends I've seen in a while.
He's got a good sideboard, too.
Yeah, taking a look at it here, what I would definitely be looking for deciding in if I'm Lim, the Collective Brutality seem key. 3 of those out of the sideboard are one of the most brutal cards that you can cast against these burn decks. Not only is it a great removal spell for those early creatures in Eidolon the Great Reveler that they cast, but you have the option to strip a burn spell from their hand or drain them for 2, all at the price of just discarding an extra card, so it's a huge tempo swing. On top of that, Kalitas Trader of Get is a great top-end threat to cast in this matchup. Usually you can survive to around turn 4 or 5, especially if you have something like Inquisition early on as well as a removal spell. And then Kalitas, very difficult to kill because it has 4 toughness and potentially gains 3+ life per turn.
For Barich, I know Aaron Barich is definitely one to play things a little bit off the radar, and a Burn, of course, is very popular in common deck. Is Barich doing anything spicy? What's in the sideboard over there?
No, pretty stock sideboard. Tocatli Honor Guard's the one that's been picking up a bit of steam. Not really super good in this matchup. It does shut down Seasoned Pyromancer specifically and Bedlam Reveler, but at 3 toughness and just so much removal from Lim's side, I doubt that it'll come in. Path to Exile seems like it could be okay at dealing with some of those threats. It does answer Hazoret the Fervent. Allows Aaron to have some answers to Bedlam Revelers or Kalitas Trader of Get, which could be problematic. Other than that, there's a couple Searing Blood, some Skull Cracks, and Smash the Smithereens. I don't really see Barich sideboarding too many cards here.
Yeah, Skull Crack good against some life gain, but it lines up particularly poorly against Collective Brutality.
Right.
You know, they take a card out of your hand anyway. It's not that much life. It's the fact that it's doing multiple effects that matters.
Yeah, I mean, you're effectively casting 3 mediocre spells on the second turn, but all 3 of the mediocre spells are pretty good when they're all coming at the same time.
Right. 3 things for 2 mana, even if they're mediocre, become pretty good as a package.
Right.
It's a hamburger, French fries, and a Diet Coke.
Yeah, make sure it's a Diet Coke, though.
Yeah, it's got to be mediocre. Goblin Guide for Barich, Inquisition for Lim.
Yeah, but a very redundant hand and no spot removal for the Goblin Guide. You saw Aaron rub her hands together there, really happy about no removal spell on the first turn. That Goblin Guide, you don't really care if your opponent's getting lands off of it, if you're crunching in.
Once it's good for 4 points, it's better than most of your cards. Top deck, Eidolon of the Great Revel.
That was a nice one. That was a good draw.
Lim's mana is cooperating pretty well. Both of the first 2 lands are Blackleaf Cliffs.
Unfortunately for Barich, this is going to be a brutal turn 2. Collective Brutality going to negate the drain from Eidolon, with the drain from Collective Brutality. Going to use the Inquisition as effectively a free Inquisition, and going to kill the Eidolon. Just an insane swing.
Drinking in that diet soda. Goblin Guide will continue to connect.
These French fries are salty AF.
Incorrectly salted French fries.
Yeah, and there's a Fatal Push off the top of the deck too, so I'm going to be able to check this Goblin Guide super easily. Also has a Kolaghan's Command at the ready, can upkeep that to potentially bust up the Goblin Guide and discard.
Okay, Kolaghan's Command. Shock your creature. Discard that Inspiring Advantage. You saw Barich draw that off of the Sunbaked Canyon in response. Riftbolt went off. Limb to 10. Eidolon the Great Revel is the follow-up.
Checks the graveyard for Bedlam Reveler. Has the ability to cast it, I believe, but may go for a bit more interaction here before firing off that big old wah.
You like to kill Eidolon. It is nice that the Reveler doesn't trigger it and checks it.
Discards Push, Dreadhorde, and Chandra Acolyte of Flame to draw 3 cards. Interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. The turn of Fatal Push Arcanist was kind of inviting.
I mean, even just Fatal Push before Bedlam Reveler would be fine. You know, just it's mana neutral, gets the Eidolon off the table.
You see Barich with the Scalding Tarn and 1 card in hand. And Lim is attacking with the Bedlam Reveler.
I like this play, using the Lightning Axe to take care of the Eidolon before damage. You deal an extra point. You're going to take some damage from the Eidolon no matter what you do, but you don't use one of those Lightning Bolts. You save those to go to the Domski so that you get to close out the game much more quickly with Bedlam Reveler.
End step, Fetch and Searing Blaze puts Lim to 4.
Boros Charm. Boros Charm.
Well, this answers our question. Sometimes it is not there.
Well, Chandra, pump. Tick up for mana, question mark?
Either mana or a shock. It's going to be mana for a Lightning Bolt. And an attack with the Reveler. Searing Blaze for 1 damage. Skull Crack. All right.
Zep Zabada Zoop.
Pretty close to type decking Boros Charm. You know, just 2 spells that was a 1 and a 3. When you got time to do it, it's all the same.
Yeah. Loved the put top card on table, say target you. Oh, it happens to be a burn spell, I win. Thank you. Thank you very much. Both players going back to the sideboard here to take a peek. Might do some swapping around on the player, the draw.
That brutality not quite good enough for Lim in that game. Should have asked for a refill.
Okay, all right, that was fine. That was okay.
Thank you. Thank you for validating me.
You're welcome.
As is your job.
You couldn't pay me enough. All right, this is for the elimination rounds. Barich is on the hunt to qualify for the Players' Championship. Currently sitting in 17th overall.
Well, if you want to talk about Season 2, Barich is in 1st.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Never mind. Okay. Look, they're confusing. There's 2 leaderboards. I don't, you know. I said that they're in the hunt. Okay?
True. On the hunt and in a pretty great position.
Yeah, tell that dumb Harvey.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dom. Is Dom here this weekend? Anybody?
I
know?
haven't seen Dom, which is kind of a bad sign either way.
Yeah, he's very loud and very British.
I meant for the points race.
Oh, okay.
But
I was more so talking. He's when he's around, you know it.
I like talking to Dom. I would not consider him boisterous.
I didn't say boisterous. I said British.
You did say British. You said loud.
Oh. Okay.
Caught you in a trap. Players looking at their 7-card hands. Taking some time on the mulligan decision here. Maybe a 1-lander with some 2-mana spells. Lim has a 2-lander. It's like a mountain and a fetch land. But
like we're waiting on Lim right now, just in the tank, trying to figure it out. We saw Lim earlier in the day keep a one-lander against Burn and just get absolutely destroyed. This two-lander might be good enough. We'll see.
Mountain go. Shock from Barich for a Sacred Foundry and an attack.
It's always a good start having a creature early on. But Lim being on the play for game 3 does have the lightning bolt to take it down before damage.
Bolt catches Swift Spear, Bloodstained Mire's land number 2. Lava Spike for Barich, so there was no second land on that side.
That is unfortunate. Barich gonna have to just throw every piece of burn at the face and hope for the best.
So Lim will fetch Blood Crypt to 16.
Wow. I was gonna say if Lin actually had a third land there, Seasoned Pyromancer was the draw for the turn. Quite a good one. Decides to go for a Collective Brutality for the Brain and Drain.
Discarding Bedlam Reveler.
Likely a redundant Bedlam Reveler if I had to guess.
Right. See a Boros Charm, a Path to Exile, a Lightning Bolt, a Searing Blaze, and 2 Eidolons. Both of the Great Revel variety.
I don't really know what to take here. I mean, I guess it's really dependent on Lim's hand, but I see a Seasoned Pyromancer, which doesn't really care about the spot removal too much. Ooh, a Goblin Guide off the top. That gives Lim the third land necessary to play Seasoned Pyromancer. It's going to take a damage to do it, though. Every point matters here in this matchup.
There is the Pyromancer. 2 spells discarded. Lightning Bolt and Chandra Torch of Defiance, so 2 elementals showing up. 2 cards drawn. Barich has now drawn a land, shocking for Sacred Foundry. Goes to 14. And Searing Blaze on the Pyromancer. Lim to 12.
Now the question is, do you trade? Barich chooses not to attack. Even if there was a trade there, that would have potentially given Lim another land, so not really worthwhile.
Generally feels bad to attack the Goblin Guide into a trade. Give him a look at the top of the deck. Especially with Lim missing a land drops.
Sure. Decides to play Chandra, Acolyte of Flame, and just does the old tick up a loyalty on all my red Planeswalkers ability.
Well, it would go up to 5 loyalty if that happened, right? It starts on 4. Was this just a quick attack with 2 elementals?
Perhaps.
I think 1 point came across is what happened.
Look, how am I supposed to know when invisible tokens happen, you know?
That's a good question.
Barich here trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Barich has that Boros Charm in hand. Saw that one being pulled to the front. Pair of Eidolons, so pretty heavy on 2 mana spells. Now the Goblin Guide attacks. Gets a trade with the elementals. Marsh Flats drawn by Lim.
I think the pair of Eidolons is the really important thing there, because if Barich had drawn a land early on, those Eidolons could have been really devastating, but at the moment, they feel like they're just going to run right into a Collective Brutality off of the Chandra Acolyte of Flame. And that Escalade ability is just so brutal. Aaron still has so many cards in hand. All 3 modes are going to be good.
Just land, go.
Barich not going to rely on Eidolon to do much work. Going to go for a Boros Charm here in response.
Chandra's going to flash back that Collective Brutality. As you mentioned, Boros Charm in response. Grab that Path to Exile with the Brutality. Goes to 9 to Barich's 11. Now Lim will fetch to 8. Finds basic Swamp off of that Marsh Flats.
It's getting hot.
And cast Dreadhorde Arcanist. Goes to 7. Sunbaked Canyon for Barich. Double Eidolon. The second one will knock Barich to 8 if you include the 1 damage on the Canyon.
Yeah, but if John casts 1 removal spell, he goes to 3. 2 removal spells, he goes to 1. Can't even use the Sunbaked Canyon. Already burned the other Collective Brutality off of the Chandra.
Yeah, impressive showing for Burn here. Yeah, Lim with 2 shots at the Brutality. Looking like it might not be enough.
The problem was that neither Brutality killed a creature, and that usually is what takes the wind out of the sails. Both of them were discard drain to. And, you know, gaining 4 life against burn is kind of like whatever. It's usually when you drain 4 life, make them discard a spell, and kill their creatures where it really shines.
Lim fetches the 6. It's going to be a 4-mana spell. It's Hazoret. And Chandra will go to 3 loyalty this time.
But the Hazoret can't block.
Yeah, 2 cards in hand.
If Barich just attacks with both Eidolons, that locks John out of being able to cast a spell, but then he can just maybe draw land, activate the Hazoret, and attack for lethal maybe?
Yeah, I believe the crackback would be lethal. Depending how Lim has to empty the hand.
Oh, this is tense. Lin needs a land to do it, I think. But a land does do it if Barich attacks with both Eidolons. Any spell that Barich plays is going to deal 4.
And the Eidolon math on that side is very taxing too. Barich is at 8. That's only 2 spells.
Right. And the Arcanist is a May, so there's no problem there specifically.
When I say it's only 2 spells, I mean the second one is lethal. That's
right.
That's 1 spell.
Scary stuff. Aaron going through the permutations, trying to figure it out. I don't know if there's a good attack, but blocking doesn't seem very good either. No Boros Charm, otherwise I think this would be an easy one, an easy attack.
Yeah, just actually having lethal.
Would maybe like something like a suspend Rift Bolt here.
Well, that's what you're seeing.
Okay.
All right, Lim has a crack at it now.
Fingers crossed.
See another 3-mana Chandra in the hand. That one doesn't amount to much. From 5, you only have 1 activation on the Hazoret and 3 cards in hand.
Okay. Fatal Push, go to 2. Attack. Or discard a card. Barich to 6. Attack with both. Nope, that doesn't work. I have no idea. maybe activate Hazoret, attack with Dreadhorde Arcanist, cast Lightning Bolt, target face. Rift Bolt comes off, suspend, kills Barich. You have to get Barich to 4 life here somehow. And Dreadhorde Arcanist plus Bolt does it, plus Hazoret activated ability. And there's no way that Aaron can resolve a spell before those Eidolons trigger.
So Chandra grabs Lightning Bolt. Lim goes to 2.
Okie dokie.
Was that just cast Season Pyromancer? The win's going to Lim here.
Yeah, the win went to Lin. They activated the Hazoret's ability. He did what I said.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I saw a different line that one.
What was that?
You use the Chandra to make 2 1/1s. You attack. The Arcanist gets you back a Lightning Bolt when you put it upstairs. 1 point comes across in combat. None of your blocks kill the Eidolons. The Rift Bolt kills Barich.
Sure. No, that works too.
Yeah.
Pretty tough loss there, I gotta say. I'm sure Barich was definitely looking forward to winning that match and making top 8, unfortunately. Just shy. That really interesting Rakdos build, though, from Lim, making it into the elimination round is going to be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I've liked it since we heard about it making day 2. We had it on camera really early when me and you were watching, and it performed well both times we've seen it on camera so far. So definitely congrats to them, and hopefully they do well in the top 8.
Yeah, excited to see more of this. I was really excited when I first heard that Lim had pillaged Ross out of a match, and I saw they were sideboard.
Actual pillage?
But yeah, 3 actual pillage in the sideboard, doing some work against Valakut the Molten Pinnacle. But yeah, we'll be seeing more John Lynn in the top 8, along with Zan Sayed, Ross Miriam, Collins Mullen, Harlan Fear, some other win-and-ins. We saw Russell Lee. We imagine Death Shadow in Lee's hands will be in the top 8 as well.
Hold on, where's Nick Miller?
We have 2 outcomes that we're not sure on.
Nick Miller, who won the Tron Mirror?
Yes, he's all the way over there. Todd's going to yell at him.
Sam Birkenbile won the Tron Mirror. He should be in. So we got Lim, Birkenbile. Who won between Donegan and Oliver? Dylan Donegan makes top 8, beating Oliver Tomiko.
A stacked top 8.
Yeah, really, really big names here on the SCG Tour. Maybe this is a really skill-intensive modern format.
I mean, I think that modern is way more skill-intensive than a lot of people have given it credit for a long time.
Yeah, play burn.
Yeah.
That's all you need to.
Skill crack.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the name of the card. Anyway, we'll get to that top 8 shortly. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our downtime, get the players ready, get everything ready, feature match set up. We estimate about 40 minutes. So what's going to happen, take the broadcast down. About 10 minutes from now, we'll start quarterfinal voting. So everyone that subscribes will get their chance. Vote if you want to watch this Rakdos mid-range deck. Subscribe now. It's the best time. Go ahead and vote for that match, and we'll cover the match that gets